Alright, hey noisy gang. I mean, does it sound whack? Whatever. You can see we've got a little change of pace today. We're going to start filming in here. I've got some microphones and shit coming soon too, so we'll see how it all pans out. We're upping and amping the production in this place. Also, it's so I don't have to be at the radio station all the time. So yeah, so welcome back. Sorry, Metalcore News has been a little bit on hiatus, but we've had some technical issues as well. As you can see, we're not in the same environment, but that's fine. So we're back with a little bit of a twist because it is, well, it's beginning of May, end of April. So I wanted to, instead of delivering you some news, I think I'm gonna do a little April wrap up. So just in case you missed some of the awesome music and everything that's been going on this month, because this month has been insane for music, you can go back and have a little check, all right, as you will. And because I feel like the music news cycle moves so fast and we move on from new tracks way too quickly. So here's something new, here's something cool, all right. And I apologize for any of like the back area. We're gonna fix that up and come next week. Let's see how we go, all right. Also, side note, if you're any band, if you're a band or like you know of any bands that have any tours, new music, or anything coming up in May and June, so we're getting early, please let me know. Please hit me up as long as you're in the Asia Pacific region and play some metalcore adjacent music, then we cool, all right? Send it through. We want to hear it, alrighty? So let's just jump into our little April wrap up, alrighty? So by no means this is no chronological order or any type of order of like joy of favorites. This is just, I'm just listing them through as they come. So here we go. We started off strong in Australia because Make Them Suffer dropped their single Epitaph just before heading out on the road with Bring With Horizon. So not only did they drop a banger of a single, they also headed out with Bring With Horizon, which is amazing for Australian metalcore. And also Alpha Wolf, of course, released their Half Living Things album. I mean, they're out in the US. They're absolutely killing it. They did one of the most infamous, I think it's going to go down in history as one of the most infamous launch parties for a while at Revs in Melbourne. Oh, the footage in that looks absolutely insane. And also, like, speaking of like Aussie album releases, we had Diamond Construct put out their album Angel Killer Zero. I mean, if you've heard the album, you know it's worth spinning a million fucking times. All right, I'm going to try not to swear. We're good. We also got our grubby little hands on Vilify's Fever Dream EP. It's heavy as. I'm going to touch on that a little bit more later when we go into what's coming up in May, because they got a tour coming, so stay tuned. We'll talk about that soon, alrighty. Also, I want to talk about some local Adelaide acts. I'm going to be a little bit biased here, dropping some Adelaide. We're going to talk about Ken. Ken dropped their track Come and See. Ken, one of the hottest young metalcore acts. Those boys have so much energy. They're a mosh friendly band. I saw them with Prompts. I'm going to be seeing them with Vilify, but again, chat more about that soon. Also, Those Left Behind dropped their song Negative. Now, Those Left Behind are going to take a little break from playing live, but by all means, still keep an eye, follow them out. And also, of course, if we're keeping with Australia, Void of Vision, finishing off the month with their track Empty. I mean, it's still on heavy rotation for me, so it's going to be, oh my God, April was just stupid for Australian music. I'm sure there's stuff I've missed. I mean, like Wild Heart, oh my God, Wild Heart, yes. Starting off with Wild Heart, Death Is All That Is Left. If you're not into Wild Heart, oh my God, you got to get into it. Get into them. They are doing some incredible work out there. Activism as well. Really bringing back metalcore to the hardcore roots and what we should be doing. But again, we'll touch on that in another video, I think. We'll leave that for a bigger time. All right, so I've got my little notes here because there is so much that came on this month. I don't want to miss as much as possible, all right? I want to make sure I'm keeping on it. So let's have a look. What else do I have on my list? Oh, of course. All right, so Australian music. We're going to move on for a second. I'm sure, as I said, there was probably a lot more things and that happened in April for Aussie music and Aussie metalcore. I just can't keep up, gang. So that's why you got to hit me up. Send me your shit. So I've got it on. Alrighty. So also, while Aussie music was dominant in April, we should talk about some of the Asian heavyweights dropping some friggin' fire on us. And when I say fire, I'm talking about flame. You know, the Thai metalcore kings, Anna Lynn, dropped their track, Circle the Flame. Again, another band we touch on when we talk about you know, they got some stuff coming up. We'll again mention that soon. And of course, kings of the scene, kings of the Asian metalcore scene, kings of the Japanese metalcore scene, Cross Faith, they dropped their track without much warning. LAMN, Look at Me Now, with Bobby Wolfgang from Stranger Bones. And that track is an absolute banger, a little different than Zero, a little different than Zero. But again, they also dropped news about a new album coming up later in, let me have a look. When was it? Oh yes, in June. I think it's June. It's their first album since Ex Machina in 2018, which is up there somewhere. It's in there. But yeah, Crossfaith, new album, massive tour of Japan. Holy crap, I think half of it's already sold out because they're playing some small venues. So I know I'm biting my lip. I think I've missed out on tickets for when I'm in Japan, and I'm very, very sad, but that's okay. Alrighty, what else have we got there? Oh, of course, staying in Japan. We're talking about leaders of Japan. We've gone from metalcore. Let's talk about hardcore. We had Loyal to the Grave as well, dropping Striving Higher. And of course, back in metalcore again, we had Seagate dropping their EP Durga, and it had an insane launch tour as well. So, all right, we also jumped in and started doing a little bit of feature bands for this month because, you know, we had the little interviews, and so you can check out noiseandvisuals.net, noiseandvisuals.net, just like the name of this YouTube channel. Some interviews we did this month, and the first one is Fragments from the Philippines. They released their track All Insane. So shout out to the lads as well, because they did let us preview the track on the Noise and Visuals radio show. So shout out to my favorites from Manila. Stay tuned for a little bit more work that we're going to be doing with Fragments. You'll see. I'm a little bit excited. So yeah, I'm heading to the Philippines soon, so it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. Also, another band we interviewed was, of course, District 105 from Vietnam. Their track Sad Melody, featuring PK from Prompts. That has gone gangbusters across the globe. It's been picked up by Metal Hammer UK. It's been picked up by Knotfest. You know, those dudes work so damn hard. So shouts out to District 105 for being some of the best dudes in the scene. Vietnam Metalcore. There's a lot going on in Vietnam, so make sure you are paying attention. Alrighty, so, and again, check out our interview. We got some fun stuff, and we're going to be, again, doing some more work with District 105 down the track. Okay. Another few tracks dropped this month. I want to shout out the new one from Chinese metal band Life Awaits, their track Butterflies. Don't let the pretty name fool you. The track rips, okay? So the track rips, and it's not quite metalcore as well, but I'm going to shout out anyway because it's a banger. It's got metalcore elements. We're going back to Thailand with Defying Decay with their track Meaningless. That dropped also right at the start of the month as well. So there's a lot going on again. It feels so long since that track dropped, but it's only been a month, so damn. Also, I'm going to put a Spotify and YouTube playlist in the description, okay? It might not be up straight away, but it'll be up there in the next day or so, so make sure you check that out. We're gonna, every track we mentioned, and from going forward, every track that we play of Noise and Visuals, it's gonna be in there, so make sure you keep an eye on that. If you want some new music and you want to check out the tracks I've been talking about, make sure you do that, okay? Far out, let's go. Whew. All right, we're gonna go back to the Philippines. Arcadia also dropped their track Life We Know It. And of course, I'm slowly becoming obsessed with another band called Asura Baby from Hong Kong. They gave us their track Sync With Me, and oh my gosh, keep an eye on Asura Baby. Those guys are dropping some heat. All right. Okay, so if I've missed anything, please forgive me. There is so much going on. So make sure, again, you send me that new music or your favorite band from your region, or just if you think we should cover it, let me know. As long as it's from the Asia Pacific region and it's got a breakdown, I'm going to talk about it. All right, I'm happy to talk about it. We want to kind of like build this community and share it. I've had some really cool interactions with people connecting through Noise and Visuals, and I want to keep that coming. Okay. Alrighty, so we're going to finish that April wrap up. For me, if I'm going to say my favorite release of the month, it might be very hard for me. I might be a little biased. I'm going to say my favorite single that dropped was, of course, Circle the Flame by Anna Lynn. My favorite album, Half Living Things by Alpha Wolf. And my favorite EP was Vilify, so Fever Dream. But yeah, stay tuned. My favorite show I went to in April as well was the Gnosis. I only went to one I think I only went to one show this month, so it's pretty slack on my half. But I went to the Gnosis Eternal Doom Part 2, Volume 2, which was a crazy show. So let me know what your favorite shows that you went to this month were. Got a few bangers coming up this month. So, and yeah, so let's move on. All right, May news. What's going on this month that I know so far? I'm sure so much more is going to come out the woodwork, but as this goes to air, this is what I know. Okay, so if you know more, let me know so we can talk about it. Alrighty, so we started this month, the first day of this month. Speed, Hardcore Kings, dropped their song Real Life Love. They got us two-stepping straight away into the month. Only 3 days in, we also had the Wind Waker album, the album Hyperviolence coming out, which is also something fresh, something cool. And of course, another epic collab. Western Australia band Heavyweight's Gravemind released their track Fear, F-E-A-R, featuring the legendary Jamie Hales from Polaris. So if you don't think that's going to kick off what is going to be an absolute staggering releases this month, then what else can you want, baby? If you're into metalcore, particularly from the Asia Pacific region, it doesn't get much better than that. So let's keep moving. Alrighty. So on a side note, speaking of Polaris as well, they also announced a tour, and I'm thinking tickets are already, venues are already selling out. So Geelong sell out last time I checked. I'm sure there's way more things that have checked out. They were on tour with Ocean Grove, with Bloom and Inertia, doing a regional tour of Australia, which is going to be insane. Again, Bloom only on the New South Wales, Queensland dates, I think, and then Inertia on the Victoria, ACT, Hobart, SA, WA dates. There's 3 dates in WA. So WA, you're getting some love for once in your life. You deserve it. Love you WA. I'm from South Australia, so a little solidarity there. Okay. So also Aussies, The Gloom in the Corner will also be releasing their new single, The Jericho Protocol, on the 15th of May. They have announced that on their Instagram. They are tearing up Europe right now, so show them some love. They are going to blow up absolutely soon. I mean, they already are blowing up, but they're going to blow up even more. So really get on The Gloom in the Corner if you are not on The Gloom in the Corner right now. Again, one of my favorite bands coming out of Australia, but a little bit biased, so I'm going to put a lid on that. Alright, we also mentioned Anna Lynn a couple of times. We mentioned them a bit earlier. Their EP will be coming out at the end of the month too. This EP is called Failure Will Find Me. It is set to drop on the 24th of May, and it also features, of course, Circle the Flame and the track that came out last year, Disappear, as well as 2 new tracks we haven't heard. So very excited for that one. And if you have been following Noise and Visuals for a while, you'll be familiar with the next 2 bands I'm talking about. Our boys, The Cards I Play, Noise and Visuals, one of our OG bands we worked with. They have a new single that's dropping on the 10th of May. 10th of May is a big date for new music, guys, so mark it in your calendars. That's next Friday. That's this Friday coming. It's going to be a big one because we have Madness, their new music video for Madness, their single Madness, will be dropping on the 10th of May. The single drops, though, the actual single on streaming services drops a week later on the 17th, which is the same date as their one-man show in Shibuya. So if you're around Shibuya and you want to check out some really awesome, just rock music, heavy rock, modern kind of core-ish, kind of post-hardcore-ish, kind of blend of everything, really, then go to check out the boys at The Cards I Play. Yeah, check out their socials and get some tickets. Also, another Japanese-based friend of ours, Sky Fall, another one of the OG bands we've interviewed. They also have a new single coming out on the 10th of May, which is Poison Love. And staying in Japan, we have Hanabi releasing a new single next week. Give me 1 second. Let me check the name of it because it wasn't on my original list. Called Girls Talk. Hanabi will be dropping Girls Talk, you know, the Harajuku Core, one of my favorite metalcore bands out there. Those girls are so fucking sick. But Hanabi, we love Hanabi in this house. Alright, and it's staying in Japan as well, Indication Hardcore. Now, you might not have heard of Indication, and if you haven't, well, get on them now. Indication features Vernon. The singer is Vernon, who was one of the OG singers of Crystal Lake. So pre-Rio era Crystal Lake. So your stuff like Open Water and everything like that, that's the homie. That's the homie. Indication also features one of the legends from Loyal to the Grave, Hiroyuki Kobayashi. IUC Kovacs. You know, that is from Loyal to the Grave. Guy runs Blood Axe. The dude is a hardcore legend in Japan. He is in Indication as well. And of course, we've got Kaita from Sable Hills on the drums. So there's some heavy names in that group. So you already know how sick Indication are going to be. Their album, I think it's an album. Let me double check. Ataraxia of the Phoenix will also drop on May 29th. So, holy shit, there is some great metalcore, hardcore coming out of Japan as well. So, I mean, we're not surprised, but make sure you look at that. In Asia in May, there's some great things happening. All right. If you're Australian, make sure you head out to some local shows. I know there's a lot going on, and it can be really hard to prioritize. Like, it's really cool that some of the big headlining bands that are coming out are bands like the Amity Affliction, with bands like Ice Nine Kills. You've got Half Wolf with The Devil Wears Prada. Am I making that up? No. You know, we've had the Kublai Clan tour. Like, there is some big tours coming on. So, but make sure you support some of the smaller ones too, if you can. If $70, $80 is too expensive for you to go to a show, you can go to a $25 show, like Vilify. They have their tour. They're heading out on the road with some great Aussie support. So every town, they've got some local acts going. I'm not quite on the money with it, but Vilify for Adelaide, they have Ken, Stabber Her and the Knifey Wifeys, some really heavy local support. So get out there, see some local music. And I'll be at the Adelaide show anyway, so if you want to come say hi, come say hi. Graves will also be on tour as well at the end of the month. They have some new music dropping this week too. Again, there's too many announcements for me to keep up, but make sure you keep on Graves. Graves will be touring with Sedative and Starve, so that's going to be an insanely heavy, awesome show. End of May, beginning of June. May 31st, if you're in Adelaide again, come say hi. If you see me at the show, I will be there. Also, that pretty much concludes our wrap up for April and our May preview. Again, if you have music coming out, I don't really care if your band has 1 stream on Spotify or 10,000. I don't care if you're opening very small shows. I don't care if you're jumping on big tours. Send us your music. Again, if it's in the Asia Pacific region and it's metalcore adjacent, it's got a breakdown. Really, I just want to highlight the incredible music from this region. I feel like it's underrepresented in the rest of the world. I may not be a big channel yet, but hey, we are building and we're going to build this shit together. Alrighty, so make sure you check out the description below for any of the playlists. We have links to the interviews and articles and stuff I have talked about on this video. We are blitzing through. Let me know if you want me to slow my talking pace down or speed it up. Let me know what you want to see on this channel. We got some really big things coming up, and I keep saying this, but June onwards, we're going to be traveling, we're going to be getting out there, and we're going to be meeting some incredible people. So make sure you stay tuned. Subscribe, check us out on social media. Check us out Thursday nights for our Noise and Visuals radio show. There is a lot going on. Head to the description below. Make sure you like, subscribe, click up on that notification so you know when new music and new news is dropping. All right, so we're gonna finish up here. So catch us next time for some metalcore news. Bye bye.